Okay, so we're coming down to the wire here. I did want to just let you guys know if you need more information, feel free to contact us. You can check us out on the website, send an email to sales, or give us a holler on the phone. We're happy to help you any way we can in getting you started with vPro. I think it's time to kind of open up the Q&A. I know we have some questions. Dan's been busy, answering a few things for some of you that have typed in some information. But Dan, do you want to jump in, or do you want me just to grab stuff? Is he typing?
Why don't you go ahead and just grab stuff, because my mic is kind of failing me here.
Yeah, no problem.
But
so
I'll hang out
anyway,
in the chat room.
Again, if you have questions, type them in. Let's see if we can help you. So one of the questions that we had, and I guess Eric, this might be for you, is that can Macs have vPro? Is it possible to do it with a Mac?
Great question. So today, once again, if vPro is not just processor chips, that network connection firmware doesn't make a vPro. So today, there are technically no Mac systems that actually have vPro in them. And I think most people know Apple went over to using Intel processors and their desktops and notebooks a long time ago, but they don't actually have vPro in them yet. So you can't actually use a Mac there.
So no way to do it yet, but maybe at some point. So one of the questions that came up, Jason was asking. I mean, if we had a machine that had the KVM over IP or the whole KVM piece of it, why would we want to use Live Connect? Would we just use that all the time? And I mean, is there any and I don't know, maybe Mike, this is more for you. I mean, would there be any advantages of using one over the other, assuming that we?
I think that really sort of two different solutions. Using the KVM, you're gonna have a remote control session, and if you're looking at Live Connect, there's other functionality there that's available, such as file manager and registry editor and things like that, which clearly you can do through a remote control session. But the idea with Live Connect there is the ability to provide private access to a system so that you're not interrupting the end user.
Right. That would be. I mean, I think that would be my 2 cents as well. Is that Live Connect is sort of your day-to-day thing. You're going to be doing more than just remote controlling. In fact, you're going to, in any case you can, you want to try to fix the problem without interrupting the user. And using the KVM would require you to kind of take control away from the user to solve that problem. And if it's just a registry cleanup or a quick command, something we can do with the command prompt, we can solve that without interrupting. So I think and the other side of it is, as much as we would love to say this would have to be a customer that you just sold a whole bunch of brand new computers to, and they were all vPro enabled and had that capability. I think, unless it's a brand new setup, you're probably going to find that, some percentage of them you could do that, but across the board, you're going to, Live Connect's not going anywhere, and you'll just use it. For me, the beauty is being able to, for example, clean malware off of a machine. Previously, I mean, you couldn't really do that. You could boot into safe mode. That helped sometimes. But what if we could, boot into a CD image that was like like its own little platform, its own separate little operating system, clean up the hard drive, and then reboot into the operating system again. And today that requires a trip to do that. So it's kind of exciting to have the ability to really, again, reduce truck rolls. And anytime you can reduce truck rolls, you're saving money, a lot of money, particularly if you're doing an all-you-can-eat package. Okay, so let's see. We've had a lot of questions on pricing and what it's going to cost and everything. I'm just going to kind of have to table that for now. We have to wait for the module to actually be released. and then we'll figure out how it's going to be priced. We don't know yet. We really don't. So we'll keep you guys in the loop, as soon as we know something. And let's see, what else do we have? Blah blah blah. Trying to think of things. So if you enable vPro on a remote sales laptop, Rob was asking this, what are the possible security risks to the laptop via the vPro interface?
Oh, that's a great one. Chris, I'll take that. This is Eric.
Yeah, sure, go.
I love those questions. So what ends up happening, too, is that when you actually get a vPro system to connect with the Kaseya, there's kind of like this part where they connect up, and they kind of do a security exchange. They say, okay, I'm this notebook, I'm connecting to Kaseya, this console, and this is where I get my information from. So there is a security layer that's on top of what you already have there today. So it's not just like any console can go out and make any updates to it. There's security risks that there. From an Intel perspective, we're really big on when we have a solution, we got to make sure it's all very interoperable and it's got another layer of security. So that communication that happens between the console and some, all different calls and things it's going to do, it's got a security level on it. And then also, let's be clear, whenever we talk about security, for someone to hack in, they first got to get access through your network. So I love when people ask me, gosh, well, how's it affect the security in the system? I say, well, if your network has no security, which first I'd be really worried if you didn't have that, but if they could hack into your network and get on your network, that one vPro system we're talking about, it's just one system they're going to go try and get. There's other ones that are out there. But most people, they do a pretty good job on network security, but there is still that security piece between the console and the notebook of what it's actually getting, and that's all done secure communication.
Right. Yep.
So
yeah, I mean, I think when you guys watch the video and you see kind of some of the hoops that you have to jump through, I mean, you're definitely going to appreciate the host-based provisioning that's coming out, because it is a lot of steps. I mean, and I think a lot of those steps are really because of security. That you have to turn a lot of stuff on, so it's not it's not enabled by default. So Andrew just asked a question: is, hey, I mean, could we use vPro without Kaseya? I think I can answer that. The answer is sure, you could, but in order to do the KVM, I mean the KVM piece of it, you would require a piece of software to do that. That you could go out and buy, I think, what is it, the Enterprise VNC or something. They have a package, VNC Pro, and you could then remote. You'd have to basically like get on to another machine and then use that machine to access the KVM functionality. So other than that, no. I mean, not that I know of. Let's see, what else? I think we in. Anything else? I'm just trying to read through stuff. I know you guys.
No, one thing I want to make sure you understand too is that when we talk about all the parts of activating and turning on a system, I always make clear to folks that when you turn on a system, you don't have to do it once. You don't do it every time you access it. You don't do it every time you get to it. You do it. It's a one-time deal and it's turned on. And there's a lot of processes that we have out there. We've got about 3 or 4 different types where you can actually do that turn on from a singular system. You can do it from multiple systems. You can do it where you do it at one command prompt. You can do it with the thumb drive. There's lots of different ways you can do it. So and constantly trying to make it better. So and I think the one thing to point out is all those names of people that I had on my slide about people that are active at vPro already. If you even when you guys hit the slides and when you see it, you go back and look at some of those names. These are all high-end MSPs, and they're all like, hey, you know what? This is going to be something I could fit into my process, and it's not going to slow me down. It's going to speed me up, make it more efficient. And so I consider my job somewhat easy. I don't tell my boss that, but in the sense that this is something where it provides you more capability. It's not like you're going to, you're putting out there and you have to go and sell it to a customer because the customer says, well, gosh, I'm going to have to pay $15, $20 more. Remember that conversation we had about power not too long ago, right? You're going to save them power on their system. So you can make up that $20 in 6 months at the latest, as far as depending on where they live at in the U.S., from just power savings.
Right.
So,
yeah. I mean, when it gets down to that, it's. I mean, come on. I mean, it's going to save you so much money. You just pay. You could pay it and still come out ahead probably. One one truck roll that you don't have to do in an all-you-can-eat contract, and you've basically more than paid for that device. So what we were seeing early on, I mean, we've been speccing vPro machines for over a year now, but we were seeing like big differences, and I think the OEMs have kind of caught on that look, they need to be a little more realistic in including the vPro technology at slightly lower levels, where it used to just be on the advanced machines. So we would have some clients that'd be like $150 difference, and that gets a little harder to explain, but we still were able to do it in many cases by being able to tell them, look, this is going to save us money in the long run, because if I don't have to come out there one time, I just saved you an hour of labor, $125, $150 an hour, $50 trip charge, boom, $200. And maybe it took me 15 minutes to fix the problem remotely. Yep. So your net savings is quite significant.
And Chris, even think about this, right? From everyone's on the phone here, we all think about when we're out with the customer, there's different levels of techs that we have working on different types of activities. And ideally, we've got our all-you-can-eat programs, and then we've got project work we want to be able to get with that customer. The one thing that I was trying to make sure to understand is that the savings you get on the hardware problems, fixing them, or software problems, that's money that you're saving on tech usage, right? So if your tech costs $70 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever it is, you get that money back also if you're able to do it faster. So that's one thing that you start adding up all these costs, and it's just because I was talking to a big MSP yesterday, and we were talking about cost, systems, all stuff, and I said, well, if you're going to save that money to the end customer for power management, if you want to implement that, you can get that. Or if you just look at the basic savings you get on troubleshooting problems, your tech utilization is going to go up. It's just how it works. If you don't have to, I had a guy in New York, literally, Chris. He saved money. The money he saved on tolls going into New York City, that wiped out. I mean, and parking. I didn't know how much it cost to park in New York City. He's
it's horrible. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Right, $26, $30.
I'm serious.
I just went to CompTIA. It was $32 a day. Park at the Hilton down in ridiculous. So no, look, I think at $15, $20, it's just mindless. I can't even imagine a customer's going to balk at it. But and I'm glad to see the differences become that little now.
Yep.
Let's see, how are we doing on time? We're right around the hour mark here. So let me just ask a couple more questions. Those of you that we didn't get to your question, sometime we'll try to answer them offline for you. But let's just throw a couple more out there. Let's see. Can we manage a machine that's on like a laptop that's only on wireless, or do we have to be wired in order to use vPro?
No, you can do it on wireless, definitely.
Okay, so when they talk about vPro capable, it's capable for wired and wireless.
Correct, yeah.
While the machine is in there. Okay, beautiful. John was asking, back to the security thing, he was asking if there was a way to, to do the KVM to require like two-factor authentication, or ask the site for permission to remote control.
Yes.
And I think the answer is the latter, right?
Yes, it is, yeah. So you can, when you set up KVM, and you can actually set up where there's user consent, where they actually, so if you set up without user consent, it just automatically goes in, but if it's user consent, the user will actually get a 5-digit code that pops up on their screen, and then you'll have to type on your screen that 5-digit code, and then you get access.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's great if you're, but you could probably, you use Kaseya to access their machines now, so you're just worried about, somebody hacking in. But I don't know, I kind of feel like, I don't know. I mean, I'm security conscious, but sometimes we kind of go off the deep end. I mean, in order, like you were saying earlier, I mean, they got to get to your network. I mean, even in hotels and things now, I mean, they've segmented out, the IPs so that it's not easy to go and scan. Everybody's behind a firewall now, so that the general internet can't, really see your machines. But anyway, you got to do whatever you think right, depending on the customer and the sensitivity. But there are capabilities built into that. So let's see if there's another one. Okay, Rex was asking about, if we've got old and new vPro machines, do we have to pay, additional for managing the new vPro features? I want to make sure you're clear. I mean, we've talked a lot about vPro, but when you're listening to Mike, I mean, there's a lot more that's in that particular module. You're going to be paying for the module, again, assuming that's the direction it goes. So, what if you could, you can map drives. So when the client logs in, they automatically map drives, map printers, back up their settings to help with with the migration, enforce policies on machines. There's a lot more that you're really paying for. The vPro just happens to be part of that module, so it's not like you're paying for vPro, you're paying for the module. It's just where it is. So you'll have to decide as to how useful the entire module is. And again, I mean, if I have it my way, I'd love to see it part of the core functionality, but I got to fight that battle. So, Ben, the release notes are out for 6.2, so I'll ask Dan to send them to you. We'll get them soon. All right, what else? All right, I'll make this. Andrew's got a really good. I mean, some of these are good technical questions, guys. But I think we're maybe going a little too techy. Andrew was asking can multiple vPro machines boot on the same ISO from the proxy server at the same time?
Yes, you can. Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, definitely. You can basically set up a script and you can have it run for a group, and you can have them all reboot, all from that one location. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that would do to your bandwidth. If you got 20 machines, it's not not a broadcast, so it might slow things down. So you might want to stagger it a little bit. But the answer is yes. Yes, you could. All right, listen. Let's thank both of you guys, Eric, Mike. I really appreciate it. Dan, for your help. Thank you all for attending. Hopefully, it's been a useful webinar for you. We'll keep doing them. Try to help you get better at doing your jobs. If you have additional questions and need to follow up, again, please just send an email to sales@virtualadministrator.com and or visit our new website, and we'll take care of anything that we missed offline. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Good weekend.